Thanks, Dwight. We're ready now for the women's 1,500-meter run. Suzy Hamilton, one of the favorites, coming off a third in the mile at the Goodwill Games, where she posted a lifetime best, 4:22.93.
Well, Suzy's just so excited about running right now. She's back with her college coach, Peter Tagan, and she said it's changed her life. She's running with renewed confidence, and it doesn't hurt to be a training partner with Amy Wickus.
Here's the start list in the women's 1,500 meters as we look at Jackline Maranga of Kenya, ranked 4th in the world last year, the Kenyan record holder, coming off a 4th in the mile at the Goodwill Games. And the women's 1,500-meter race is underway.
A little pushing there at the start. You're trying to get into good position. Suzy Hamilton can run at this point with her confidence from the front or the back. She's in the middle of the track with the sunglasses. Debbie Grant on the outside in the red, and that's Jackline Maranga of Kenya with the number 6 on her hip. Keep an eye on her.
Suzy going to the shades despite the clouds today.
Well, you know, I think a lot of athletes have been running in shades of late, and you know, I think the difference in the glare as they take them on and off probably disturbs her running technique, so she decided just to keep them on. You see Michelle Dimuro Ave on the inside with the ASICS uniform also is wearing her sunglasses.
Maranga of Kenya moves up outside of Suzy Hamilton at the moment. Suzy does have the shades, but not the usual ponytail for today's race.
Looks like she's cut her hair off, and I'll tell you, they're going at a pretty pedestrian pace right now. Now, that could fall right into Suzy Hamilton's hands. She has got an excellent kick. Jackline Maranga is hanging right on her shoulder. Obviously, she knows the person to watch is Hamilton, who is right now on the inside.
Kathy Fleming is also moving up into contention, as is Debbie Marshall.
You know, Carol, Jackline Maranga from Kenya, of all the great tradition that the Kenyans have in distance running, they've really yet to put out a great miler, a great female miler, and I think they've got one here in Jackline.
She's only 20 years old, and you know, I was over in Kenya in the late 80s. I talked to Mike Boyd, the great Kenyan runner, who was probably the first to come to the States and really put Kenya on the map in terms of athletes training in the United States. He said a lot of times girls in Kenya were having kids at 14 years old. And I think now the Kenyan women are coming over, they're running, they're seeing the success of the men, and they're saying, you know what, I can do that too.
You know, speaking of having kids, this 1,500-meter race reminds me of our former colleague, the miler Craig Masbach, now the CEO of USA Track and Field. He and his wife, Sarah, celebrating the birth of their first child, a daughter, Grace Stewart, born last Thursday. So congratulations to Craig and Sarah. Suzy Hamilton on the inside, Jackline Maranga on the outside, still running 1-2. Debbie Marshall in the red is in third, then Kathy Fleming and Amy Wickus.
Well, this is an interesting pace because it looks like nobody really wants to go ahead. Suzy is leading right now. Jackline Maranga is just stalking her right on her shoulder. And Debbie Marshall is out in lane 2, running on the outside in the red, the tall woman in the red. It looks like they're saying, okay, who's going to go? Who's going to make that big move?
Suzy Hamilton continues to show the way, but Maranga has been on her shoulder the entire race and is still there at this point.
Well, if somebody was to make a move, I think Suzy would go right along with him because the pace has been so slow. She knows she can outkick anybody from this point in. So it's just as well for her to just sit and wait for somebody else to make a move.
Debbie Marshall 3 wide on the outside. Kathy Fleming also trying to move up. They're bunching up now. And coming up to make a move is Leah Pells of Canada to join the leaders.
You know, sometimes I guess Leah said, you know what? Somebody's got to do something here. Somebody has to do something.
Leah Pells has joined Hamilton and Maranga. And it is Hamilton in front with Pells second, Maranga in third with less than a lap to run.
And it's off to the races. All of a sudden they said, you know, there's 1 lap to go. Somebody's got to start running.
Hamilton and Pells running 1-2. Maranga's dropped back a bit in third. Debbie Marshall in the red is in 4th place. They're midway down the backstretch, and now the race begins. Hamilton trying to hold off Pells. Suzy Hamilton in front. Leah Pells is there second. They're pulling away from Maranga in third and Marshall in 4th. Entering the final turn, and Hamilton begins to widen the advantage. Pells can't keep up. Midway through the turn is still Suzy Hamilton. Hamilton starting to widen the advantage. Now they come to the home straightaway. Suzy Hamilton all by herself. Maranga takes up the chase from second, but it's Suzy Hamilton through the stretch. They won't catch Hamilton. She'll lead it from wire to wire. At the finish, it's going to be Suzy Hamilton to win. Maranga second. And Pells just holding on for third with Dimuro Ave making a run at the very end. Suzy Hamilton wins the 1500, 4:17.46. Maranga second. Dimuro Ave edged Pells for third.